Israelite groups out there, but there's only one group that's teaching the truth according to the way the Most High wants it to be taught, and that's GMS. Like I said, we challenge anybody on the planet. I don't give a damn if you're the Pope. I don't give a damn if you Rex Humbard. I don't give a damn if you Jesuit. I don't give a damn who you are. We have the truth. Period.
Had some positive words about Rebel Alliance Media. As a result, I got a response to that video in the form of a comment from Taha, the leader of the notorious Great Millstone, put on Great Millstone regarding their teaching that Masha is King David. So in this video, I'd like to briefly go through the history of that subject. In the 90s, the...
Get back the fucking smithereens! Now, let me ask you a question. What I gotta do with Masha's King David, sir?
You done. Right. You done. Yeah, you done. You done. You done. That's all you got. That's all you got. You want that? You're gonna need that for the bargain, brother. You're gonna need that for the bargain. Hey, brother. Don't argue with me. Preach to nobody. Don't argue with me. Preach to nobody. They preaching to nobody. Turn the camera around. Say it. They're preaching to nobody.
But yet you came to us. Right. You came to us.
Y'all know how I rock. You can't disturb
All
right, brother. Take it.
You guys $100 each.
All right, but take the money first. Take the money first.
Nah,
keep walking. He was going to the water. Keep walking, you brother. Hey, you remember that, brother? Nah. Oh, he used to be up through that thing. He used to make videos with the apostles back in the day.
He don't got no more juice.
Hey, he just look at him. Look at him walking. Hey, Scripture says prophesy to the wind. Hey, get that scripture, whether they hear from here. Get that scripture. Yeah.
And who you teaching?
Who you? Yo, you remember that dude, bro? No. He used to make mad videos. Yo, bro, it's 10 years ago.
Ultra deep.
10 years ago. But look at him, he all messed up.
Done.
Destroyed. That's Jason.
Right.
You know? I forgot his name, man. Damn. He used to make videos about the apostles, Tazadaka. But his main thing was getting up Tazadaka, the comforter. You know? But look, he destroyed, man. Yeah. He said he shut Apostle Taha down, but we his faith.
When I left the church, I left because I didn't believe Tazadaka was God's comforter. In addition to that, I didn't believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God and everything else that's associated with that. That's why I left. My journey doesn't necessarily have to be your journey.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Aricha HaQuadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors, also to you other brethren, fellow believers of the truth, even if you sisters, and mainly shalom to the elect. And that's what I'm going into. It's all about the elect. Right, and that's why we must have the fear. Now, this video actually is these brothers here, shepherds. There's so many camps. Shepherds of Berea in class, and this was, I don't know how long ago this was. Not too long ago, I guess. But they did a video, as you saw the intro, and I remember this guy Rebel Alliance some years back. So when he did that, when they spoke on him, who is completely out of his mind now, he didn't wax worse and worse. I believe he was with the Comforter. I believe he was with the Israelite, the Comforter school, which I was there for a hot minute. I didn't know he was calling himself the Comforter. So anyway, he would get on Tazadakia. The last time he did a video was he focuses more on Tazadakia. So this is the mindset of somebody who becomes psychologically impaired. His whole mindset was, I'm going to just do videos every day on Tazadakia. Well, when Tazadakia passed, there was no more Tazadakia. So now what is he doing? He's absolutely doing nothing. So even Tazadakia being used on the left-hand side has brought a lot of you scoffers into that, realm of life. And the reason why I'm going into this video, because I've witnessed a lot of guys that left. I know a guy here was a camp leader. He follows Christmas now. He follows Easter, right? He's completely gone, right? He took the CR19, right? He took that. There's another guy that was in the camp. He left, and another brother from another camp told me that he's in the chronology now, study of time and God's, the Most High, in His time and space and all this crazy stuff. So this is what happens. Now, there is people who say you shouldn't be in the camp, but there should be somebody watching over your souls. So even if you're not in the camp, okay, let's say that, because we don't force that issue, you should still be under the embodied sect, so to speak, of men teaching the correct doctrine, right? So I don't have many scriptures, but I'm going to read a couple, because that's what we must do, to edify this lesson. Deuteronomy 11:25. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Lord your power shall lay fear of you, right? And the dread of you upon all the land, and that ye that shall tread upon, as he have said unto you. This is why the Jake Rebel Alliance, he saw them and took off. This is why everybody that's dealt with any of you brothers that's teaching the truth, when they leave and they disappear, you don't see them no more, right? Their only thing is to come in and continue to wear down their own spirits, trying to come against Apostle Taha, because that's who everybody mainly comes against. And the other apostles as well, and elders, but mainly Apostle Taha, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakar, not so much Apostle Ramla, but mainly Apostle Taha, because that's who Satan wants to get anyway. And all the brothers, not just all of us, but he likes try to come in and make disorder. But see, the Lord got him in the trick bag. So when Apostle Taha do things like that video with the Edos the women bowing down and kissing their feet, and the Deuteronomy 22 and 28 thing, the rape doctrine, and the worship doctrine, and all this and that, all that did was take these reprobates and separate them, only to burn themselves out. Like I said, the camp leader, he just left. So I never did a video on him. He never said anything about us. So we kind of left him alone. And that was the best thing for him, if that's what he's going to do. But really the best thing would be to continue to do the work. It just goes to show that we have to have fear of the Lord. That don't mean that you're of the elect. Just because you're in the truth, just because you're in the camp, doesn't mean that you're of the elect. Right? Let me get another scripture. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, Sirach 2:14. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, right? Taking your hand from the plow, weak Jake, right? And the sinner that goeth 2 ways, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, right? So you got these guys that come into the truth and they want a name for themselves. They get kicked out or they do whatever. And all you have to do is just continue to do the work. That proves that a lot of guys are in it for the fame. They wasn't really in it. They was in it to make a name for themselves or to get close to some brothers because they were lonely. Who knows? It says, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Right? So if you're fearful, this is why I always pray for faith and, and continue in the Lord's work. Because then you don't have the Spirit to protect you. It says, woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Right? Even the scoffers lost patience. They wanted a great millstone to fold. They couldn't wait. What happened to the I forgot his name from the main camp, Azar. What happened to all these guys? We don't see Yakanan anymore. The the Milwaukee guys, I don't know if they're still doing anything or not. But for the majority, we don't see them no more, or they don't have an impact. We don't know where they are, what they're doing. Maybe some of them still are. And if I'm incorrect on that, as long as you continue to do the work. But the majority of these guys that leave, they become bitter, they become hurt. Instead of just being humble and say, when you get kicked out, that's the time to humble yourself. You should do that when you first come in general. A lot of guys don't do that. But we go through things. So humble yourself, and which means to be brought low. So when you get kicked out, that's shameful to you. That is really a reprove. When you look up the word reprove, it means to shame. That is a shame unto you, right? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word. Which means if you get kicked out and you fear the Lord, why am I going to make 1,000 videos on Apostle Taha? Or 1,000 videos on the IUIC and 1,000 videos on guys? If you're doing it for doctrine and you trying to teach the right thing, but if you come from a particular group and most guys that leave the group, they don't never leave and defend the group they were in. They just go totally 360. I would have more respect if a guy got kicked out of ISUBK or IUIC, but then they still continued to teach that particular doctrine. We would tell them to come to the right doctrine, but that would be a man of some form of character. These guys get kicked out, and they come against the very people that teach them. Right? You see this group Sakari, he just kind of did a stage left, or wherever he went, but they're still teaching, But because they're not under the proper authority of doctrine, they're in these debates and they're learning from other people. Divine prospect, you don't believe in certain scriptures anymore. Anyway, they that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they will love him and shall be filled with the law. Right? Matthew 22:9. Go ye therefore to the highways, as many as you shall find, bid to the marriage. Luke 11. And let's go to 11 and 24. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. He saith, I will return unto my house, right, which I came out. So you got these guys that they're coming to the truth, and then them demons and those spirits are waiting to come back and bring more spirits. And it says, and when he cometh, he findeth it swept and garnished. Now you just gone bugged out. That other guy teaches for the truth. This guy, he looks more and more demonic every week. He just doesn't look good at all. They're trying to hold on. They was never on fire in the truth, but they became on fire being scoffers. Scoffers in the last days, walking up their own lust. Then goeth he and taketh to him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. And they enter in and dwell there, and the last state of the man is worse than the first. So we can also precept that with 2 Peter's, I believe, the 2nd chapter, I think, or 1 Peter's, the 2nd chapter, when it says, a dog, it has better been a man to not know the way, but a dog is returned into his vomit again. In fact, I'm not going to quote it. I'm just going to get it real quick. It's actually in 2 Peter's as well, 2 and 22. It's also in Proverbs 26 and 11. It says, because this is what's quoted, this true proverb, as a dog returneth to his vomit, so is a fool returneth to his folly. So whatever you did before you came out, you go back and you do the same things, but accelerated. It's accelerated what you did. All right, so let's look up this word patience. patient, bearing pains or trials calmly or without complaint. That's these guys, right? That's all these dropouts. That's what patience means, which goes back to suffering. Bearing pains or trials calmly or without suffering, right? Not hasty or impetuous. Steadfast despite of opposition, difficulty, and adversary. So again, this is what the video is all about. These jakes, when they leave, their mindset, the love of getting, they have more passion on getting on the group that they were in than the passion that they had for the love of the truth. Right? They put more energy into trying to correct us, or correct the doctrine, or come against Apostle Taha and the other apostles and elders and brethren, than the love and the energy that they have steadfast in the truth. So you can't serve two. You can't serve two masters. You can't do both. You either love the one or you hate the other, right? So these guys love wickedness, but they hate the truth. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.